Hello students, today we will see Nyquist stability problem. So question number 1 is GH of S is equal to 1 upon S into S plus 1. Decide stability using Nyquist path. So the question is we have to find out the Nyquist stability. Now I will explain what is actually the Nyquist stability criteria. Here I have written the Nyquist stability criteria. Capital N is equal to Z minus P, where P stands for the poles of G of S in RHP. Z stands for number of zeros, and here N means number of clockwise encirclement about -1, 0 point in a G of S plane. So we have to find out what is N, what is Z, and what is P in this problem. So if this is a Nyquist stability, the system is stable if N is equal to the minus P, that is Z must be 0. And second condition is if N is equal to 0, then P should be 0, otherwise the system is unstable. So for stability condition is N is equal to minus P. So we will solve this problem and see whether it is satisfying stability condition or not. So for this we need to find what is N, what is Z, and what is P. So let's start. So this is our step number 1. Here step number 1 means what? We have to find out number of poles of right half of S plane. Now this is the denominator, it indicates the number of poles, as we already knows, right? So we will equate this denominator to 0 equation. Then by solving this we get S is equal to 0 value and S is equal to minus 1. So here there is no pole lying in a right half of S plane, so P is equal to what? 0. Why? Because 0 pole is exist at origin, minus 1 indicates the pole is in left half of S plane. So here P means what? As we already know, P means poles of G of S in right half of S plane. But here not a single pole is lying in a right half of S plane. That's why the P is here 0. Then next we will move further. The step number 2 is we have to draw a Nyquist path. So this is a in general Nyquist path. So this is our in general Nyquist path. Here we have 3 poles. One pole is at origin, and this pole and this pole, these both are lying on an imaginary axis and complex conjugate of each other, right? So this is in general Nyquist path, where it goes from A to B, from B to C, C to D, D to E, E to F, F to H, H to I to J, and then again it goes back to A. So this is a in general Nyquist path. We will equate it to our problem. Now here in our problem we have only one pole is present at the origin. As I written here, there is a pole at origin, so the Nyquist path will be reduced like this. Only pole present at the origin like this. Now the path is now A to D, D to E, E to F, F to I, again I to J, and J to A. So this is our problem's Nyquist path, and we will solve it step by step. So here Nyquist paths are A to D. A to D path is lying on a imaginary axis, so S value is here J omega, and the omega value varies from 0 to infinity degree. Why infinity? Because this inside this semicircle having radius rho tends to 0 value. That's why the omega varies from 0 to infinity value. Then next DEF. DEF, this D, E and F. Now here S we can write it as limit R e raised to I theta, where R tends to infinity. Now here R value is a radius of second, means large semicircles. Radius is tending to infinity. So here theta varies from 90 to minus 90 degree. Why? This D, E, F, here this R is now tending to infinity value. Then second path is here F to I. Now here third path is our F to I. F to I is again lying on an imaginary axis, so S value is j omega, and now here omega varies from minus infinity to 0. Why? Because it lies on a downward side negative axis, so F is considered as a minus infinity and I is considered as a 0. Why I is 0? Because this semicircle's radius is tending to 0 and F semicircle's radius is tending to infinity. That's why for F angle is infinity with minus sign, and for I angle is 0. Then next last path is the I, J, A. Now here S we can write it as limit rho e raised to j theta, where rho tends to 0 value. Rho, now this semicircle's radius rho is tending to 0 value. Now theta, for I it is lying on a negative imaginary axis on a vertical axis, so this angle is minus 90 and then A is plus 90 degree. So we have four paths: AD, first path where S is j omega and angle is 0 to infinity. Why 0? Because this semicircle's radius is tending to 0. So we considered omega for A is 0, and for D second semicircles means bigger one is radius tending to infinity, so angle is infinity. Then DEF, where radius is r tending to infinity, angle is plus 90 to minus 90. F to I, here S is j omega, angle is minus infinity to 0. Then I, J, A, here this semicircle's radius rho is tending to 0, so angles are minus infinity 90 to plus 90. Now we will draw the polar plots for each Nyquist path. So our first path is this one, AD, where I make it bold, AD path. Here S is our value is j omega, as the table indicates S is j omega. So the question problem is GH of S is 1 upon S into S plus 1 GH. Now replace here S as a j omega. GH of j omega is equal to 1 upon j omega into bracket j omega plus 1. So next, as we written whole equation in terms of a j omega, then find out mod of GH of j omega. Now mod value means what? We have to take the j omega magnitude value is only omega, then j omega plus 1's magnitude value is square root of omega square plus 1. I hope you know for calculating how we are calculating this mod values. Then angle GH of j omega means what? Numerator 1's angle is always 0, because 1 we can write 1 at an angle 0. And for omega we are writing tan inverse imaginary, that is omega, real part is 0, plus second bracket tan inverse omega upon 1. So both are multiplied, j omega into j omega plus 1, so angles are get added. Now numerator angle is 0, tan inverse omega upon 0 angle is 90 degree, and left part is plus tan inverse omega. When these are get, there is a division, so for division we are doing a subtraction of angle. So 0 minus 90 minus tan inverse omega. This is the angle of GH j omega. Now we will draw a table of omega, mod of GH of j omega and angle of GH of j omega. Now we will put, if omega is 0 value, then what is the magnitude and what is the angle. Similarly, we will put omega as a infinity, then we will find out mod and angle value. Let's see. So here this is our mod value, mod GH of j omega, 1 upon omega into square root of omega square plus 1. As I have put omega is equal to 0, in this equation we are keeping omega is equal to 0, so 1 upon 0 square root of 0 square plus 1. So this bracket gives us 1 value, so overall answer is 1 upon 0. 1 upon 0 means infinity. Then put omega is equal to infinity, then 1 upon infinity square root of infinity square plus 1. So this bracket also gives infinity, infinity into infinity, infinity. So 1 upon infinity means 0. So these values we written in a above table. When omega is 0, mod value is infinity. When omega is infinity, mod value is 0. Then next we'll move for angle. This angle GH of j omega. Now replace omega as a 0 in the angle equation, minus 90 minus tan inverse omega. As we are keeping omega is equal to 0, the first at omega is equal to 0 we are getting angle minus 90, and when omega is infinity, that time we are getting angle minus 180. So this is our overall table. For omega 0 angle minus 90, and at infinity angle is minus 180. With the help of this table we will draw the polar Nyquist plot for a given Nyquist path, that is AD. So this is our AD plot. Here I have drawn real of GH of j omega. This is imaginary of GH of j omega. Now here when omega is 0, magnitude is infinity, angle is minus 90. So this axis is a 0 degree, this is minus 90, this is minus 180. So first when omega is 0, this point when omega is 0, that time m stands for magnitude is infinity and angle is minus 90. So the graph will start from this end and it will reaches to the origin like this, where omega is infinity, magnitude is 0 and angle is minus 180 degree. So this is the Nyquist polar plot for path AD. Now next step is step number 3. Draw the polar plot path Fi. This we completed about AD polar plot. Now next is Fi. Now AD and Fi both are lying on the same imaginary axis, but only values are negative. AD is positive, Fi is negative, right? So the polar plot of Fi is a mirror image of AD polar plot. So we are drawing here this our AD, that is we are renaming it as A dash D dash path is same as for Fi. So Fi is mirror image of A dash D dash. So we are drawing here F dash I dash. So draw the Fi plot as a dotted line and we are naming it A dash D dash and F dash I dash. So here we are not going for the procedure for finding Fi because the procedure is same as AD, only it is a mirror image of AD. So now next polar plot is for DEF, this DEF, but in previous plot D dash and F dash meeting at a origin, so the polar plot of D dash E dash F dash is not exist, so we are skipping this step for finding the polar plot of DEF. Now step number 5, draw the polar plot of IJA. As in previous steps we completed AD path Nyquist plot. then Fi completed, then this DEF completed. So rest part is IJA. Now draw the polar plot of IJA. Here S equation is limit rho e raised to j theta rho tends to 0. So this S value we are replacing in a GHH of, so this is our GH of S equation, 1 upon S into S plus 1. So limit rho tends to 0, 1 upon rho e raised to j theta. S is rho e raised to j theta bracket, S is rho e raised to j theta plus 1, and commonly we are applying a limit values. Now here rho values tending to 0, so this bracket rho e raised to j theta plus 1 is reduced to one value. Why? Because this product will tends to 0, so 0 plus 1 means 1. So we are rewriting above equation, limit rho tends to 0, 1 upon rho e raised to j theta, and this bracket is reduced to one value. Now next step is limit rho tends to 0, 1 upon rho omega, and this exponential function is shifted in a numerator with a minus sign, right? E raised to j theta is in downward side. If we are replacing this in a numerator side, then it becomes e raised to minus j theta, and this rho value is 0, so 1 upon 0 means what? Infinity, with an angle of minus theta. This minus theta means this e raised to minus j theta's polar value, and infinity is a magnitude value. So here path IJA maps a semicircle of infinite radius. Infinite radius means this, and theta is varied from minus 90 to plus 90. This is our IJA path. I is at negative imaginary axis, that is minus 90. A is at positive imaginary axis, that is plus 90. So theta is varied from minus 90 to plus 90. Now we will plot for each point. For point I, this GH of j omega, we are considering this equation infinity at an angle of minus theta. So infinity at an angle of minus of I theta value is minus 90. So minus minus becomes plus. So theta at an angle 90. This is the value for I point. Now J. For point J, GH of j omega, we are using this same equation, infinity at an angle of theta. J is lies on a real part, so angle is 0. So there is no change in sign. For point A. Now for point A, GH of j omega, same equation, infinity at an angle of minus theta, infinity at an angle of minus, A is on plus 90, so plus 90, so this becomes minus 90. So here we completed all the paths polar plot. So we will connect all the curves in a next diagram. So this is our overall Nyquist stability path. I will explain it. First path is what? A dash D dash. This part is we already solved in step number 2. How we are found this? When S is replaced by j omega, and we found make a table of mod and angle, that time we get A dash D dash path is this. Then F dash I dash path is same as A dash D dash. It is a exact mirror image of this. Then D dash E dash F dash path is meeting at origin, so we skip this. Then I dash path is what? I point we found it in a angle is magnitude is a infinity, so this imaginary axis we are taking, and angle value is a plus 90. J is magnitude value is infinity, so we are randomly selecting this point on the real axis, angle is 0. And for A point, magnitude is again infinity and angle is minus 90. So by joining all these points, that is A dash D dash F dash I dash and J dash, we get this as a Nyquist stability plot, and this point is our minus 1 plus J 0. Now step number 6 is what? Number of encirclements about -1 comma 0 point. Here this is our -1 comma 0 point, and the number of encirclements means what? This Nyquist stability plot is not crossing this point, so the capital N is here 0. Now step number 7 means what? As the Nyquist stability criteria, capital N is equal to Z minus P, then N is 0, P is 0, so Z is 0, hence the system is stable. So I hope you all understood this. Thank you.